unveiling treasures from history, where every coin tells a story. This is Rare Coins.
Picture this. A silver-looking quarter from 1966 that was never supposed to contain silver, yet a few rare examples have sold for 4 and even 5 figures. A coin everyone spends without thinking, but the right one can make you thousands. Support our effort. Subscribe, like, and share so that we can bring you more videos like this. In 1966, America was in the middle of a coin shortage. The silver era was ending, and the mint was changing the way coins were produced. Instead of the old 90% silver quarters, the mint switched to clad, a copper core with a nickel outer layer. But the transition wasn't perfect. Mistakes were made, experiments were run, and somehow, the 1966 quarter became one of the most unexpected treasure coins of the 1960s. Look at the coin and you'll see George Washington facing left, the date, 1966, underneath, and the reverse with the great American eagle perched proudly. But one thing you will not see is a mint mark. No D, no S. That's because from 1965 to 1967, the U.S. Mint removed mint marks as a strategy to discourage collectors during the coin shortage. So every 1966 quarter looks the same, at first. But as collectors discovered later, not all 1966 quarters were equal. Some have incredible strike quality. Others have dramatic mint errors, and a very tiny handful were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from earlier years. And those silver planche mistakes are the monsters, selling for $4,000, $8,000, and even over $10,000 depending on condition. But even the regular clad 1966 quarter can bring strong prices in high grade. A normal circulated one is worth face value, 25 cents. But an ultra-high grade example, crisp, bright, uncirculated, and graded by PCGS or NGC, can push real money. In MS65 it sells for $25 to $40. In MS66 it jumps to around $70 to $120. But when you hit MS67, now you are talking $300 to $600, depending on the look. And in MS68, those are extremely rare. One of those can reach $3,000 to $5,000, simply because the quality is so hard to find. That's the key with 1966. The mint was rushing production because of the national coin shortage. Dies wore down quickly. Strikes were often weak. Quality control slipped. So an extremely sharp, high-grade example is like finding a needle in a haystack. And collectors pay extra for those premium pieces. But the real excitement comes from the errors. One of the biggest is the 1966 silver transitional error. A quarter struck on a leftover 90% silver planche. These coins weigh 6.25 grams, instead of the normal 5.67 grams. If you find one that feels heavier, or rings with a higher tone when gently dropped on wood, measure it. A verified silver transitional error can bring thousands. Some examples have sold for over $9,000 at auction. Another sought-after variety is the double die obverse, where the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," show doubling. Strong examples can bring $150 to $400 depending on how dramatic the doubling is. Off-center strikes are also valuable. A 1966 quarter with a 40 to 60% off-center but still showing the full date can easily hit $250 to $500. A 75% off-center could sell for more. Clipped planches, where part of the coin is missing in a crescent shape, usually range from $30 to $150. Die caps, broad strikes, brockages, and multi-strike errors can push values even higher, sometimes into the hundreds. What makes the 1966 quarter fun is how many of these errors escaped. With the mint rushing production, errors slipped into circulation in larger numbers than usual. And people still find them today, in pocket change, in old coin jars, in inherited boxes, or in roll hunting sessions from the bank. And if you're searching for the silver transitional error, here's the trick. look for a brighter, smoother rim. Silver planchets have a completely different sound and weight. Even though 1966 quarters look similar to silver to the naked eye, the weight test is the giveaway. A simple digital scale can save you thousands. The historical side of the coin is just as interesting. The year 1966 came right after the Coinage Act of 1965, the law that officially ended silver circulation. That law reshaped American coinage forever. The mint used copper-nickel alloy to keep coins durable and affordable. But because the mint was behind schedule and overwhelmed, the quality varied widely. That's why high-grade 1966 quarters are so scarce. The mint simply didn't have the time or precision to make perfect coins in those years. And that's also the reason mint marks disappeared. From 1965 to 1967, there were no D, no S, no P, everything was plain. The mint believed collectors hoarding coins was contributing to the shortage. Ironically, removing mint marks made the coins more collectible for future generations. Today, the 1966 quarter sits in this strange place. It's common, billions were made, but special examples break all expectations. A coin worth 25 cents can suddenly be worth $500, $5,000, or even $10,000 if the right features are there. Collectors also look for coins with strong details in Washington's hair and on the eagle's feathers. Most 1966 quarters are mushy and worn even from the mint. A bold strike is a premium. If you're hunting for this coin, check old change jars. Coffee cans filled with coins from the 1960s. Estate collections. Unsearched quarter rolls. Flea markets and antique shops. Junk drawers from older relatives. And if you find one that looks perfect, or one that looks unusual, get it checked. A surprising number of big discoveries come from people who never knew what they had. As for selling, circulated pieces can go on eBay or Facebook Marketplace. But high-grade coins and rare errors should go to heritage auctions, great collections, or Stack's Bowers. These are where the deep-pocket collectors spend real money. Once a 1966 quarter comes back from grading in MS-67 or MS-68, it's not just a coin anymore, it's an asset. And the market for high-grade clad quarters has exploded in recent years. And that's what makes this humble 1966 quarter so fascinating. It's one of the most ordinary coins in America. Yet it hides some of the most extraordinary errors and rare high-grade examples of the entire Washington quarter series. A pocket change coin with jackpot potential. Support our effort. Subscribe, like, and share so that we can bring you more videos like this. America was transforming. Technology was exploding. The internet was rising, and a new generation was stepping into the modern world. But in the middle of all this change, people were carrying a simple silver-colored coin in their pockets that today can surprise collectors with rare errors, high-grade gems, and some eye-opening auction results. The 1995 D Washington Quarter. Support our effort. Subscribe, like, and share so that we can bring you more videos like this. At first glance, it looks ordinary. A standard-clad quarter made from copper and nickel. But hidden among the millions of quarters struck in Denver that year are a handful of coins so sharp, so clean, so perfectly struck, that they've sold for thousands. And a much smaller group with rare minting mistakes that can turn an ordinary 25 cents into serious collector money. The Denver Mint struck more than 1.1 billion quarters in 1995. With that huge number, most of them are extremely common. You can still find them in circulation today. They're worn, scratched, beaten up from decades in pockets, vending machines, shops, counters, and bags. But the rare survivors, the ones that were saved early, the ones kept in mint sets, or the ones that somehow never entered circulation, those are the coins collectors get excited about. In circulated condition, a 1995 D quarter is worth face value 25 cents, but move just slightly higher into uncirculated condition, and things change. A bright, clean MS-64 coin sells for about $4 to $10. An MS-65 jumps to $15 to $30. And then the values start accelerating. The real treasure appears at MS-67 and above. An MS-67 example with strong luster and minimal marks can reach $150 to $300. But the rarest of all, the stunning MS-68 coins, yes, they exist, have sold for $1,500 to over $2,000. A single tiny step in quality, a slightly cleaner surface, or a sharper strike can mean a massive jump in value. This is because modern quarters are mass-produced at incredible speed. And with so many entering circulation immediately, finding high-grade survivors is difficult. One bag drop, one contact mark, one scratch, and the grade drops permanently. Collectors look for strike strength, especially on Washington's hair, the eagle's feathers, and the shield lines. A well-struck Denver coin can be beautiful, but weak strikes, mushy details, and die fatigue were common that year, making gem examples with razor-sharp details much more valuable. But the 1995 D quarter isn't just about high grades. Its most exciting coins come from errors. Denver was producing huge numbers that year, and with high speed comes mistakes. Some of the most desirable errors include off-center strikes that range from mild 5% shifts to dramatic 30% or more. A 20% off-center 1995 D quarter with a clear date can easily bring $150 to $300, and bigger off-centers can reach $500. There are also double-struck quarters, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and even a few rare die break varieties. A strong die crack through Washington's face or neck can sell for $20 to $100. A dramatic cut, where a piece of the die breaks away leaving a raised blob of metal, can bring even more. Repunched mint marks don't exist for 1995 D because mint marks were already machine applied, but die deterioration doubling does appear. This is not the famous 1995 double die, which only occurred in Philadelphia on cents. But mild doubling on quarters still gets attention from collectors because it adds character to the coin and creates a small niche market. The story of the 1995 D quarter is tied closely to America's shift into the modern age. These were the years before the state quarters program began, when Washington quarters had looked the same for decades. People didn't save them, they didn't think about collecting them, so high-grade examples slipped through unnoticed. And that's what makes the surviving gems rare today. Nobody expected them to be valuable. If you're searching for one, don't expect to find MS-68 in your pocket change. But you can still find nice MS-64 or even MS-65 coins in customer-wrapped rolls, bank boxes, old jars, or pocket change from someone who saved coins without knowing their potential value. For higher grades, mint sets from 1995 are still affordable and sometimes contain exceptional coins. When you check your coin, focus on the luster first. Fresh, bright cartwheel shine is the #1 sign of an uncirculated coin. Then check for contact marks. The fewer, the better. Look especially at Washington's cheek and the field around his profile. Those smooth, flat areas show marks clearly. The reverse eagle should have clean wings, detailed feathers, and no heavy scratches. If your coin looks strong, consider grading. PCGS and NGC are the best options. A top-graded coin can turn a $10 quarter into a $1,000 profit if the quality is high enough. If you want to sell, common ungraded coins are best for eBay, Etsy, or Facebook groups. But high-grade or error coins should always go to serious auction houses, Heritage, Stax Bowers, and great collections, because they bring in buyers who understand the value and bid aggressively. Think about the life this coin lived. A 1995 D quarter may have been used in a payphone, a video arcade, a vending machine, a gas station, a school cafeteria, or a grocery store checkout line. It may have fallen into cracks of couches, been tossed into coin jars, or slid across metal counters thousands of times. Only a tiny fraction avoided all that damage, and those few untouched survivors became the modern treasures collectors now chase. So if you have one, Don't ignore it. Examine it closely. Look for errors. Check the luster. Think about grading. Even modern coins can carry hidden value. You just have to know where to look. And if you enjoy discovering valuable coins hiding in plain sight, stay with us. Support our effort. Subscribe, like, and share so that we can bring you more videos like this.